interview segment on this program, AM Cafe. I am Olufunke Faduba, and my guest here is Mr. Yinka Odumakin, a rights activist, the National Publicity Secretary of the Yoruba Social Cultural Group, Afenifere. Good morning, Mr. Odumakin.
Morning, madam.
It's a pleasure having you
Thank
in
you.
our studios here.
Yeah.
What is the noise about Yoruba territory being invaded? Are we really being invaded?
We've been invaded, we are surrounded. The first signal was sent when a prominent Yoruba man, Olufala, was kidnapped by Fulani men in Akure and kept him for days. And someone said that time, some Yoruba boys have gone to the north and kidnapped Adapishi Roma. And they've not set this on fire. So after that was the crisis when there was this crisis between the indigenous and the Hausa community, and the federal government took Obas. Only a sectional arrest. They arrested only Yoruba and took them to Abuja until rose up before those who were freed. Today, many roads in Southwest are not passable again. Just 2 weeks ago, Obafemi University issued a directive to all the students and staff that anybody that travels between Ife and Ibadan and gets kidnapped, the university has no ransom to pay anymore. The government of Ondo State recently raised the alarm that he was about to be kidnapped, and as ADC have said, they are shaking like leaves. There's no day now you open newspapers that you not find one story of kidnap, harassment, killing, and unfortunately, the security agencies are either too timid or unwilling to investigate any crime once for Fulani men. A professor came to our meeting 4 days ago and said, we're starting to do Kitty and Leisure when herdsmen will let him. He managed to maneuver, ran, they shot at his car. He drove to the next police station and stopped. And was trying to, I was about to kidnap now, this, and they are taking a statement. The moment he mentioned Fulani herdsmen, the person said, no, you can't report here. Go to the next station. He got to the next station. I don't know if you have reported at the last station. They're tossing him up and down. No policeman will take his statement.
Was ready to take his statement?
No, not really. He immediately mentioned that it was herdsmen.
Let's look at it this way.
Yeah.
Recently, governors in Yoruba states, they met in Ibadan. And after their meeting, about 28 people were kidnapped again on Ikere Akure Road. Could that not have also been a statement to Yorubas that you can only shout, you can only back, nothing can come out of it besides that?
Unfortunately, even the meeting held by our governors did not even back, not talk about biting. When the Southeast governors met, they spoke clearly. Governor of Benue State, Governor Taraba, they've been speaking clearly about these issues. But what our governors did, they got to Ibadan. The governors spoke for 3.5 hours. Only one of them mentioned the issue of insecurity in Southwest. The rest are just making apology where the thing is more pronounced in Zamfara. Southwest is not the worst, all kind of things. And when somebody from the civil society got up to make a speech.
Okay, the civil society groups were also at
the meeting. If you were there.
Okay.
The moment you got the microphone, all the governors got up and left. The meeting ended abruptly. So, our governors have been constrained by political loyalty that the issue of the people they are governing over has been placed secondary. And even one of the governors, the governor of Osun, a few weeks ago said that there's no problem in Osun. Just a few days after he made that thing, he had to rush to Abuja to say that the place is ungovernable. So that's kind of policies that are not good for us. At this moment, leaders who truly lead people should speak for them in clear language. But by now, because even when listening to You must have listened to when you listen to the comment of Alaafin of Oyo, Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. As soon as about that meeting, you know that it was a flop.
But is this how it will continue? What is there hope for the Yoruba people that they are safe even in their own land?
Well, I don't think we are safe presently. And it takes me back to what General T. Adanjuma told this country a few months back in Jalingo, that if we wait for the security forces to protect us, you go die one by one. The example I just give to you shows clearly that what Danjuma suspected to be complicity. I recall, there was a young man, the son of MK Abiola, some 4 years ago. I spoke with the governor of Ondo State then. He said he wanted to do a Greek in Ondo State. And they allocated land to him in Owo area. He started work on the farm, and Fulani herdsmen came to invade the place. And he went to the police to make a report. Oh, and they said, sorry, if it's Fulani herdsmen, there's nothing you can do. So this kind of moment now calls for Yoruba people to be, that's why Federal has told Yoruba people, be ready to use your traditional mechanism for self-defense.
I was going to that traditional mechanism.
Yes.
Not just for self-defense, but also for creating wealth. Because people are not properly engaged, they could also be lured into some of these crimes.
Yes.
In what way is Afenifere and other concerned Yoruba leaders attempting to use our traditional methods to solve some of our problems?
Well, people are working seriously on that. Don't forget, what's happening to Yoruba now is not new. It's only that the dimension has taken now is very subtle. If you could remember, in the early 1900, to start with, what's going on in Nigeria today? All the towns and villages there were built by the Hausas. There is no town or city in the north that was built by the Fulani. When they came to the Hausa land, they deceived the Hausas. Oh, that the Islam you are doing is not pure. We have brought pure Islam for you. The Hausa fell for it. As after they moved their own kings and making Fulani their emirs. That today, in the whole of the north, the only non-Muslim, non-Fulani emir in the north is the emir of Anka in Zamfara, who's an Asaman. All the other outside towns have been come under the emirates.
We even have a emir in Lagos now.
Yeah, the emir, the Sarkini emir Fulani Lagos, and someone who went to pay homage to him a few days ago. So, by the time they finish with the Hausas, they face the Kanuri. But the Kanuri said them, which Islam are you bringing to us? We knew Islam before you. There was a big fight. When they could not handle Kanuri, they made a deal, went through Ilorin, invaded Ilorin, and they are coming to the heart of Yoruba land then, just like S-men are doing today, until our warriors faced them in Osogbo and gave them red eye. So, it is the resumption of that jihad that we are seeing now again under the cattle scene. You could see, you have seen a picture online a few days ago. Cows invaded the Babish in Lagos. Is it that cow want to drink salty water or they want sand? No, they are making a statement. The statement of that day to deep ground is in the sea. It's time for free right in our eyes, and that's why Yoruba should not be asleep. And but we are confident of one thing: Yoruba will not be subdued, will not be subjugated. We have not been aggressive people, and interestingly, when you look at the history of Nigeria, Yoruba is the only one of the biggest tribes in Nigeria that have never called for the segregation of Nigeria. Even during June 12, we have suffered everything. During our service, all we are talking about justice. And I think, let nobody push it over to that point. I follow in telling some of my northern friends that their leaders should know that the coalition that fought the 67 to 70 war had disappeared forever. When they went to fight Igbo in 1967, on their own, they could not have defeated Igbo. When you read the account of the war, those who won that war, we're talking of Alani Akinade, Isama, Adebule, and the rest of them, that's Scorpion. This was before the war. Right. Today, there is no quality you can put together across Nigeria now to go and fight anywhere. And that's why you should be careful.
Let's look at this Ruga program.
Yeah.
It's a welfare program designed by the federal government to tackle herdsmen, farmers, conflicts. And they said it was agreed to at a Council of State meeting presided over by the Vice President. And that some states agreed to it. And even they have already mapped out pilot states. Is any Yoruba state part of the pilot program? Or why are we afraid of an Hausa settlement or Fulani settlement?
Ruga, you say it's a welfare program. To us, it's not a welfare program, it's a warfare program against non-Fulani communities across Nigeria. Cow breeding is a private business. When does it become the duty of government of Nigeria? To now say you want to go and take land, you want to go and build for settlement for Fulani, you build schools. A government that has not built one school in the last 4 years is now ready to do all this for Fulani. The whole concept of Ruga, in fact, it's so offensive. Ruga is another word which means cow settlement. Just like they have Fadama in the Ministry of Agric, which is about the judicial irrigation. And it's the kind of principle you have in Nigeria that you have a country like Nigeria and you come out with a concept and you give you a name in the language of a section of the country. When Obasanjo was president of this country, could he have put up a program for Nigeria and give a Yoruba name? When Jonathan was the president of Nigeria, could he have put up a program and put in the journey? But some people they are so repugnant, so insulting, and so full of impunity. Now, the whole idea of Ruga is for conquest and domination. To use cows as a basis of taking our land for Fulani. And before you know it, and that's why I was saying in Southwest, no governor should sit an inch of our land for Ruga program.
But what of traditional rulers who are selling land to these people under the guise of farming?
Well, that's a bit tricky, because even for ranches which are proposed, for as long as we are all still in the same country, you cannot stop a private citizen from even approaching states that want to buy land. For a purpose, but we must be ready to live under the rules and regulations of that state. But to create federal capital territory in every state of Nigeria is an agenda for domination. And before you know it, because all along, the same president who has been saying that these Fulanis are from Nigeria, who are cutting this problem. Now you are not saying you want to solve the problem. You want to give them Ruga settlement. So what does it mean? So you want to settle foreigners in our midst? The foreigners are going to control, who are killing our people. That everybody say they pay them money. You now want to give them, make them landlords in our cities. We will not allow it. It's not going to happen.
Let's still look at this Ruga thing.
Yes.
Some have argued that what do you people want government to do? You want government to solve a problem? That after all, some people run private airlines. Government bid airports for them. Is it not the same?
No, it's not the same.
Okay. Why do you think so?
It's not the same.
Why do you think so?
That's really correct. To the extent that if a Fulani man comes to Lagos and buy his land for Ruga, there is, if it takes NEPA, connect NEPA to electricity to the place, it's government that is doing it. If they connect pipe water, it's government that is doing it. If they tie the road to that place, it's government that is doing it. That's all they do for airline people. The airline people, they are paying. It's not free. The private airlines who are using the airports, they are paying. So they will take the money of Nigeria to now go and spend it for private business, in which those who own the cows are billionaires. So that tells you that it's not about cow. And it may shock you to know that how they do see any full animal that eats cow meat. They eat lean meat, heavy meat. They don't eat cow. So you go about poisoning people with cows, and the owner wants to pay for it, and they want to pay with their lives? No.
Let's look at Afenifere.
Yes.
Why is it factionalized?
Because it's the greatest, it's the best brand in Yoruba land that has survived all ages. Over the years, people have tried all kind of things or groups of organizations that did not fly. Afenifere has remained the strongest brand in Yoruba land because that's our law. So, and that's why like straight children.
And are you sure you can achieve your aim of Yoruba cohesion like we used to have under the Odua investment, stuff like that, when you are divided?
Well, you see, the Yoruba have a saying that a house that's settled is the bastard that has not grown up.
That's
so strange children have taken over somehow in Yoruba land, and what they try to do is to remove the ancient landmarks that our father laid. They are serving foreign interests. Look, these are people who are calling themselves Afenifere. Just give me one statement they have made in defense of Yoruba people in all these years that they have been facing Swala. None. They became Afenifere when they said they wanted to endorse Buhari for second term. And now, when Bola Tinubu led them to another visit.
Like your own, like with due respect,
yes.
Like your own group too is accused to have endorsed Jonathan. What is wrong in them endorsing Buhari? I'm not saying
when you endorse Jonathan, go on your Google and see whether there's anything that has happened to your people that you have no reason up to defend them. When we endorse Jonathan, we didn't endorse Jonathan just because Jonathan. We endorsed Jonathan because he did a national conference and said we'll prepare reports. So on that basis, I said, okay, if you are participating in this report, many of us are delegates, and we produce a beautiful document that can move this country forward. Don't forget that someone was for Jonathan in 2012. We organized Occupy Nigeria that almost brought Jonathan down. But we want to organize that conference, restructure Nigeria. Let's give it a chance. But just bring up one issue that have affected your people in all these years that Afenifere has kept quiet. Now tell me just one statement that the Tinubu group have made in defense of Yoruba in the last 4 years.
Oh, okay, they are the other group.
That's Tinubu that is the other group now.
Oh, okay. Yes, let's look at it again. Like they said, there is this issue about Yoruba land. We are always we are honorable people.
Yeah.
We are people who have penchant for hard work.
No.
We are not bootlickers. But those attributes, it's like they are being eroded gradually.
Yeah.
Is that part of the mandate of Afenifere to rejuvenate it and ensure that Yorubas, they gain back those attributes that have always put them in the front runner?
Yeah, you know that's the whole basis of all the war against Afenifere. Because for these people, for these strange children, they will want us to forget where we are coming from. No standards. So that become a land of anything is possible. Today, go around Southwest. You'll find a lot of people that have been pushed into the leadership position. People who can at the academic qualification cannot be verified. People who have lived the life of crimes. People who have been doing in drugs, all kind of things. There's a gradual attempt to repress our best and lift up the rest. And that's why we have insisted that no, we have history. At the launch of Obafemi's biography,
Recently.
Last Thursday, translated by Larry, I made a statement there that 32 years after Olowo had gone, we are here gathered around his autobiography, the story of his life, blow by blow, that How many of those who claim to lead us circles today can tell the story of their life without it's not like that, or put challenging them that's where we are coming from. So for those other people, they will prefer. We don't even talk about Olowo. Interestingly, at that book launch, the book orders eventually went to Buhari. The instruction they gave to their members that no anybody who showed up at that event, Olowo, is an enemy of their leader. And they were not there. Only the governor of the state was there. So there is some civil war going on in Yoruba land between the best and the rest. Now those who are against Yoruba ways, who want to turn us to just like any other session, are working hard to supplant, to suppress their lower ideas, which lifted us up. And we always ask them, in all the years that I've been here, what have you done that can compare to any of the least I already did? So, but we continue to strive to ensure that their values are not submerged by this strange culture that's been brought by strange children in Yoruba land.
It has also been observed that some people who claim to be progressive of Awolowo extraction, but when they get to position of authority, it's like they don't exhibit that Awolowo's traits anymore. Is it that the position that conscripted them to something else?
No, because they are opportunists who never believed in our ideas. Many of them have never read a book by Awolowo. I remember one of them just finished serving as a governor. And when somebody gave him Awolowo's book, so Awolowo was writing novels too. So many of them have not even read a page of Awolowo in their life, but it's because they know that that's the name to cash in. They say we are who we have this. They don't live in their you can't find the lifestyle, the values of Awolowo in them at all, but they don't believe in him. So it's just stealing the brand to win election.
To round up this particular segment,
is
there hope for the Yorubas?
Well, clearly, like the song that who sing every now and then I like. Irọ́ ni wọ́n pa Yorùbá ò lè parun, èké ni wọ́n ṣe Yorùbá ò lè parun. Yoruba can land. There's hope for us. Nigeria has held us down for years. Before, when we had the autonomous region under Awolowo, Yoruba land was going to be a first world country, first world nation. When we had television, there was no
WNBC.
Yes, there was no television in Southern France. We had television 2 years after Britain. Cocoa House, all kind of things. In fact, many people didn't know that at the state, the Saudi royal family, they are coming for medical checkup in UCH Ibadan. Until Nigeria took over our lives under unitary arrangements and destroyed everybody's. University of Ife was a worse than university. They had an atomic energy center. But anytime I go to Ife now, I weep. But that's my university. Basically, like coming like an Magic Kingdom. So Nigeria has held Yoruba down for long, but we are insisting that given where we are coming from, given our history, we will not allow Yoruba to be submerged.
On that note, we want to wrap it up on this segment of AM Cafe. Thank you to Mr. Yinka Odumake for sparing your time to be in our Lagos studios. I hand you over to the other segments. Thank you.